Hey guys, so today we are going to be using the Cupcakes and Carousel stamp set and DSP. Now, if you did not catch my retiring catalog walk, just know that this set is retiring. I have R's marked next to everything that is retiring. So if you want this, definitely grab it while you can. I want to make a clarification on something I did not say, or I said incorrectly during my catalog walk. I had said things will be in production until May 22nd, and until then it's while supplies last. That is only true for stamp sets. So all the embellishments and the DSP, that's while supplies last. The stamps will continue to be produced until May 22nd, and then after that it's while supplies last. So it's a beautiful suite. I just love the creations. Stamp set is really cool. I love the carousel. And then you have the gorgeous DSP with the embellishments. The DSP is $10, but since it is retiring, it is 40% off. So you can get a pack, and it's 6x6. You get 48 sheets, 4 of each, of 12 double-sided designs, 6x6. You can get it now for $6, and that's pretty good for a 6x6 pack of paper. It's typically, you know, if you go to the store or anything, Hobby Lobby, it usually can get a 6x6 for that much. So if you want it, definitely grab it. Okay, it has some gorgeous designs, really cool. And I've seen a lot of other projects using the paper that have nothing to do with the carousel set. So here is the stamp set. It is red rubber. Okay, now the little Ferris wheel bottom and top actually coordinates with this. So you have a little, here it is, this little die here and this little die here coordinate with the Ferris wheel. You also have a stamp and this little thing for the bottom part of the Ferris wheel. So this, if you have this set, you already have coordinating items to go with it. And of course, you don't need the Lift Me Up to use the carousel, or the, yeah, carousel stamp set. The Lift Me Up bundle is retiring. And when I say bundle, I mean the dies and the stamp set you could purchase together and save 10%. That is retiring. But after June 1st, you could still purchase this, and the dies, it'll just be separate. So that offer to save 10% no longer applies. Okay, so you will need this, as well as the Carousel Birthday, the DSP. The inks we'll be using is Peekaboo Peach, Bermuda Bay, Calypso Coral. So Saffron. I don't know if I'm going to use So Saffron, but it coordinates with the suite, so I have it out just in case. You will need your scallop tag topper punch. Okay, this is going to help me make my gift tags, and that's what we're making today. Thought I would do something different. Birthdays, I think, are great. I think it's great to have gift tags on hand. So here are the 4 gift tags we will be making. I may change things up here and there, but we'll see. Play it by ear. And so to make those gift tags, you also need Very Vanilla. Now what I did was I just took an 8.5 by 11 sheet, cut 2-inch strips. So this is 8.5, and then this is 2, because 2 inches fits my banner punch. For my twine, I have Bermuda Bay and Calypso Coral, which coordinates perfectly with the sweet colors. And I have my, no, we're not using ink daubers today, so sorry about that. I have my stamping piercing mat if I need it. And I believe that is it. You know, I probably will add something later on, but that is it for now. Oh, and then you will need some Very Vanilla, just scraps, to do our stamping on. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything laid out, and we'll get started. Okay, so I went through my tags and chose all my paper I wanted to use. I'm going to change the tags up just a tiny bit, nothing drastic. So I'm going to just do one at a time with you. So bring this in. You will also need, of course, there was always something, early espresso ink, your snail, and then stamping dimensionals. So I'm going to put this to the side as my little guide, and I'm going to take let's see, let me make some space here. I'll need my early espresso, and then I will need my carousel stamp. By the way, I had the stickers on here. It was working for me for a while, and then it's not a good idea. Don't do it. Live and learn. Definitely a tip that I previously said was great, but it is actually not. So I'm taking my stamping piercing mat so I could stamp my carousel, and I'm going to be using, I keep calling this carousel. It is, yeah, okay. I think I called the Ferris wheel a carousel earlier. Anyway, take my early espresso ink up my little horse, and I'm going to have to fussy cut him out. That's okay. I would love if this set had dies. That would have been wonderful. Okay. So I will fussy cut him out in a minute. Put this aside. I'm going to go ahead and take my pieces here. Oh, I guess I should make the tag with you. Duh. So I have my 2" by 8.5 strip. And then I take my banner punch, or my, what is it called? Scallop tag topper punch. And what I do is I just stick one end all the way in, punch it, stick the other end, punch it, then I fold, and then I cut the end so that they're all even. Kind of just make a tight score, and then I will bring in my trimmer and just trim the ends. And I kind of trim it because I don't want there to be any, I want this edge to be smooth. I don't want it to have like a ripple from the score, so I just trim it off like that. Okay, so then I do that with each of my pieces. So then I have 4 tags. Just makes things easier. And you know, they don't have to be you know, even. I'm just a little particular about that. Let me go ahead and trim it up. And then I want to trim this paper up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut 2 inches from the top, from the side. I'm going to take my tag, and I have this, this is my border. So what I do is I'm going to take this, go ahead and add some snail. I'm adding snail to my tag just to make it easier, so I don't add snail to this and have it overhanging and whatnot. Go ahead and adhere this down. You can go up as high as you want, as low as you want, doesn't matter. Go ahead and trim this, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom. And trim it. And then I'm just going to take my little piece here, kind of judge how I want it, and I see that, and I'm just going to cut it. I'm not going to worry about trimming it, and hopefully get it straight. Cut it right there. The sentiment will cover it up if it is a little crooked. Go ahead and place that there. And then I have my stamped image somewhere, and I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut this out. Alright, so I fussy cut my horse, and I'm going to go ahead and ink up my sentiment. And I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to choose the same sentiment, but I'm going to use Bermuda Bay so it brings out some of the color here. And I'm going to choose I Love When Your Birthday Comes Around. Beautiful. And then I'm going to trim it since I totally stamped it crooked. Okay, then I'm just going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to add how I did the little strip down here. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it like this. Add my dimensionals. And with this being a gift tag, I don't add that many dimensionals. You know, it's not going to be manhandled as a card would, I guess. And then go ahead and adhere this. Okay, I think that looks pretty good, and we'll add the twine at the end with the rest of them. So moving on to card 2. All right, there's my tag. Here are my strips of paper. I'm actually just going to do a strip at the bottom. So what I'm going to do, just to make my life a little easier, is add some snail. Add my paper. I'm going to go higher up this time. I'm just going to trim it from here. There we go. And then I have this. I'm going to just add this there. Most of it gets covered by my sentiment, but I'm going to add something to the top this time. Yeah. There we go. A little bit different than the original. All right, so I'm going to take another piece of scrap of Very Vanilla. I'm going to ink my, I think I'm going to do So Saffron. So it's, or should I do, no, So Saffron, there's polka dots here. Hopefully that shows up. We'll see. If it doesn't, we'll redo it. Shows up against the Very Vanilla. So let me take my tints, Circus Tints. Okay, I think that'll be okay. And then I'm going to go ahead, while I have the Very Vanilla out, I'm going to go ahead and ink up my sentiments and stamp this. And I'm going to do this in early espresso. See what I mean? It won't stick to the block. I need to add some glue. I need to add some of my Tombow Mono glue. I know that'll work. I just have been lazy. So I'm just going to do this and pray that I don't smear it. Do this. Okay, not bad. So I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut these out. All right, here are my pieces cut out. Let's go ahead and pop them up. I really love this circus tint. It's cool. It's great if you're going to have a birthday party, a child's going to have a birthday party that's circus theme, or you're attending one, you can make a birthday card. And it's just a little bit, it's not childish, it's a little bit classier. So here is that card, and we will add twine to it at the end. So moving on, here is this, and I went ahead and chose my border strip. And I'm just going to add this to the top because my sentiment is going to cover it up. So, add the snail. And then we're going to go ahead and add this sunray paper. Let's see what side I want. I think I want this side. Okay. Trim it off. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stamp my Ferris wheel directly on the tag. So let me grab that. And I'm going to do it in early espresso just so it stands out nicely. And I'm going to do something real quick. Add a little tape adhesive so it stays, since it's going to be a, oh, that didn't even work. So it's going to be a little booger. Okay, we'll see if that holds. Let me get a piece of scrap paper. Early espresso, ink up. I'm only going to ink up this side. Try that again. There we go. Okay, looks good. I love that against the yellow. That looks really pretty. It stands out a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and take my, I'm going to do Calypso Coral. Go ahead and ink up my sentiments. And I'm choosing, I love when your birthday comes around, since that goes really, really nice with the Ferris wheel. Beautiful as always. I just love Stampin' Up! Ink. You know, I love that, you know, 95% of the time you get a perfect impression. It's not splotchy. You don't have to wait for it to soak in the paper. None of that. It's, you know, you just stamp it and it's perfect. The foam, this is a foam board with paper on it, but the piercing mat does help give it that cushion, and it's just, I love it. So we're going to go ahead and trim this up. And I will go ahead and add a little fishtail banner. If you have the triple banner punch, you can use this, but since this is such a small area, I'll just do it like that. Go ahead and pop this up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of blue, and I'm going to take the die in this stamp set and go ahead and cut out, I only need 2, so cut out 2 of the little toppers. Okay, so I have 2 of the toppers, and the paper I used is the DSP from the Cupcakes and Carousel set. So I'm going to add a tiny dimensional. In these you could use, you know, if you just use the 2 dies and not the stamp, would work as a cupcake. So you can get a different use out of them, stretching what you have. There we go. So there are those 2. And finally, here's our last one. And what we're going to do is I am going to go ahead and cut this one. So I just want 2 inches. So I'm going to take my tag, and I'm going to, first of all, trim off this horrendous border. I need to replace my blade. Okay, and then I'm going to add some snail to the bottom here. Go ahead and adhere that. And trim it off. Ooh, is that crooked or what? Yes. I think it's still crooked, but that's okay. And then I'm going to kind of judge how I want this piece. I want it about there, trim that off. And then take this. Okay, I'm going to take my horse again, and I'm going to stamp it up, and I'm going to use Early Espresso just so it stands out nice and bright. Bright's not the right word, but just so it stands out. And then I'll take the Calypso Coral. So let's see. And I'm going to use the Because You Spoil Me. No, I'm going to use the one where it goes... yeah, I'll use this one. Okay, go ahead and fussy cut that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and add... There is one here. Dimensionals to this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back the tags I made with you, and we're going to go ahead and tie the toppers on them. Okay, so I'm going to say Bermuda Bay for these, and then Calypso Coral for these. So the length of how long you cut them is totally up to you. You know, I just kind of eye it. And this is the thick baker's twine, which I love. I can't remember if I had said this is retiring. But you definitely want to, you know, whether it's available till the 22nd, then it turns into while supplies last or not. Grab it while you can, just in case there are any issues, or, you know, if you want it, grab it before it retires. So that one's a little short, but no biggie. And also, if you do place an order, don't forget to use that hostess code if your order is below 150. That way I can send you some goodies in the mail, some card making supplies for free, just for using that hostess code. I always feel bad when someone orders and they don't use the hostess code and they don't get the goodies in the mail. The hostess code lets me earn points or rewards so I can purchase these supplies for the card club. If your order is over 150, you automatically get them. Don't use the hostess code, because then you will get the rewards, not me. But you'll still be a part of the card kit club. All right, there are birthday tags, and all you have to do on the back is stamp to and from if you have a stamp, or you have plenty of room to write who it is to and from. I hope you guys enjoyed this. All supplies will be listed below, and please remember, basically it is while supplies last. As of June 1st, none of these supplies here, the DSP, the stamps will be available. So if you really love this stamp set, definitely grab it, or the DSP. Tomorrow I will have a card featuring the stamp set, the Carousels and Cupcakes. So, or Carousel and Birthday. The DSP is called Cupcakes and Carousel. So if you're interested, definitely purchase this before supplies run out. All links will be below. If you have any questions, let me know. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.